All right, Team Impact. Shooting a video here this morning for you on, student handout number 8, volume of rectangular prisms. Give you a second there to get caught up there. You need to pause the video or what have you. Um, so, um, what we've done before, while you're kind of getting situated, is we found the surface area of these prisms. We've painted them, we've wrapped them in paper, we constructed them, we decomposed them to find the surface area of these prisms, okay? And you can see the variety of different ones here. Now, what we're going to do is find the capacity of them. And capacity means is how much liquid or of some type of material it will hold. Capacity is measured in cubic units, all right? And it's going to be 2 to the third power. So we're going to make sure we need to label these, okay? So let's get started. Volume is the amount of space a 3D object occupies. Just like area is measured in units square, volume is measured in units cubed, okay? Again, area, square units, volume, cubic units, to the third power, to the second power. A figure is packed with units cubed, even if not all the cubes are visible. All right? They are still part of the volume. So when you look at this figure right here, we can see all of these cubes, all of these cubes, and all of these, but we can't see this back row. And we have to understand that there's one here, but there's one behind this one, and this one. So what we need to do is have a formula to figure this out, okay? And the formula to figure this out is volume is going to equal length times width times height. And we could write that like this: length times width times height. And of course, if we're given the volume, we could find one of these working backwards, and we'll have to do that as well. Okay? All right, so let's get into this thing. Describe the number of cubes that are related. All right, so let's take a look at our height. Our height here is going to be 4. Our width is, and I'm going to use x's now, is 2. And our length is, all right, I'm going to put zeros there, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Length times width times height. Now, we can multiply in any order we want because of the commutative property. So watch what I'll do. I'll go 4 times 5 is 20. 20 times 2 is 40. There's 40 total cubes there. Now, we could label that, all right, 40 units cubed because it is cubic units. Number 2, it looks like we have a cube here. So let's see. The height is 1, 2, 3. And you'll notice that 1, 2, 3 on the width. And the length is 1, 2, 3. A cube is dimensional, right? Meaning that all the sides are congruent, right? Just like when we found the surface area of this, we found the area of 1 and multiplied it by 6. Well, in this, if we find the side of 1, if it's a cube, we know that the rest are 3. Okay, so 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27 units cubed, right? And what that means is there's 27 of these little cubes in there. We can't see the ones underneath this row or this row or this row or this row, but they're there. And this formula tells us that, okay? Number 3, all right? So we have a little prism, all right? And it's not as big. It's not a cube, but it's still a prism, right? So the height is 2. The width is 3. And the length is just what? 1. Just 1, right? So again, we got to multiply our numbers. 2 and 3 is 6. All right, and times 1 is still 6 units cubed. Now, remember, if you get out of order and you say, oh, well, this is the height, and this is the width, and this is the length, it's okay. Because of the commutative property, we're fine with that. Okay? All right, so rectangular prism, all right, really has 2 formulas. I like, and I'll just go on record, I like this one better. But I'm going to show you another one. All right, so the volume can be found by capital BH or length times width times height. These are the same thing. How are they the same, you ask? Well, they're the same because this capital B means to find the area of one of the faces and then multiply it by the height, of the length and the width and then multiply it by the height. I don't like this as much. I like this better because it tells me, it reminds me to multiply the length and the width and the height. Sometimes I'll forget to write that as a capital B, and then I have to remember what that means. This is just a better formula to me, okay? All right, so if you like that, use it, but I'm not going to use it because I think the other one's a little bit more readily available. Formula. Volume equals length times width times height. Plug in your values. We've done this before. Length, 9. Width, 6 times the height of 4. Right? 9 times 6 is 54. 54 times 4, I'll help you out, is 216, and that's in centimeters, and that's cubic centimeters, okay? Oh, I forgot about this piece there. I skipped right over. All right, so that's just talking about this right here. The volume can be determined by finding the area, right? The area, and that's what, again, that capital B meant for, and multiplying it by its height. All right, again, I like this formula better, which we used there. Okay? All right, let's flip the page. Okay. All right. So we have some work to do here, it looks like. All right. So this is a little bit different, okay? So, and I guess this is going to kind of personify, what we're doing. But anyway, practice finding the volume of rectangular prisms below. All measurements are in centimeters. Centimeters. They're centimeters, right? And they're giving us all of them. Sometimes it's a prism where we have to count. Sometimes it's not. So I'm just going to stick to what I did. I'm not going to use the capital BH. So let's go. Number one. Number one is, all right, 4 times 8 times 6, right? And that equals 192 centimeters cubed. Okay, let's box that off. Number 2, all right, 8 times 8 times 1, 64 times 1 is 64 centimeters cubed, right? Number 3, we have a cereal box there, right? And it's 22 times 3 times 18. And that ends up being 22, 18, 2,000. Oh, I'm sorry, not 2,000, 1,000. I apologize. 1,188 centimeters cubed. Okay. Number 4. We have a tissue box, don't we? Tissue box is, again, 10 length, width, height. Write it down, plug them into your calculator. No problem at all finding the volume. All right, the capacity of that tissue box is 2,250 centimeters cubed. I always like to circle that answer. Number 5, and I hope you're writing this down because when you write it, you remember it. And some of you struggle, all right, and for some reason, to follow through with just what I'm doing here on the guide to practice. This is a little bit different. We have a rectangular prism. Let's count the cubes. Our length, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. Width is 2. And height is 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 times 4 is 40 centimeters cubed. Okay, getting the idea? We'll finish this page out together. No problems here. Next one is number 7. I'm sorry, number 6. I'm still up there, aren't I? 6 times 12 times 3. And really what we're doing is finding the area of the base and multiplying it by the height. That's what that other formula did. But anyway, just keep it simple. That's 216 centimeters cubed. And there we have it. Number 7. 5 times 8 times 1 is 40 centimeters cubed. Number 8. Again, we have some kind of shoebox there. 16 times 8 times 10. 1,280 centimeters cubed. Number 9. Another prism. Find the area of the base. 2 times 2 times the height. We're going to carry that area up. 10, 4 is 20 centimeters cubed. Number 10. Got to count them here. Here we go. We have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 15 times 1, 2 is 30 centimeters cubed. Okay. And by the way, I'm going to look to see that this is done, okay, for your homework. So make sure you're doing that. Number 11, that's a cube, right? 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Another way to write that would be 2 cubed, right? 2 to the third power is 8 centimeters cubed. Either way, that's where the thing comes up as the cube. Last one's number 12. 4 times 2 times 10 is 80 centimeters cubed. And there you have it. So that's how we find volume, capacity, how much it will hold. If you flip the page over here, okay, you're going to have some homework here to do. Plus today is Wednesday. Don't forget about your con. This is homework number 8. Sit back and enjoy, folks. It's beautiful out. Get it done and get outside this afternoon. Bye-bye.